Well, in truth, there's, I had the surgery before the 9/11 war, and then at the same time, I got kicked out of massage, and I had to move back to Louisville. I would have been disqualified for the military for 6 months. But honestly, I'm living my life, and yeah, there's a war going on, but it's a volunteer war. It's not like there's a draft. So, and I'm living my life, and I have all this stuff going on where I had a surgery, I dropped out of college, I joined massage, and then I had the surgery, and then the 9/11 war hit. But I would have been ineligible for the military for 6 months. I mean, honestly, I didn't know that. It was just, I was messed up after the surgery. I would have had to take the evaluation because I have the major scar tissue, which impaired my locomotion. So it would have been iffy if they took me. But, I never even thought about joining. I mean, I had all that going on. And then I had the surgery, and then I dropped out. They kicked me out of massage. I moved back to Louisville. And then shortly after, my parents had me evaluated for schizophrenia because they didn't like my, how I was, whatever. And yeah, they diagnosed me for schizophrenia. At that point, I would, have then been ineligible to join the military, period. And then, but honestly, I didn't even think about it. I had too much going on with being, injured and dropping out of college, dropping out of massage, moving back home. And then they evaluated me for schizophrenia. I've got all this stuff going on. There's no way I'm thinking about joining the military, especially when it's a volunteer war. I had a lot going on, and I knew how injured I was. It didn't even cross my mind to maybe join the military. Me, I saw, I used to be an athlete. I got 3rd place in state and track and field. This happened to me, and it just took the wind out of my sails after the surgery. I mean, I was pretty fucked up. I mean, my locomotion was limited bad. So yeah, I didn't even think about it. And then I got on, diagnosed for paranoid schizophrenia. So, I don't know. It was not the time. I may have joined the military if all that didn't happen. Why didn't I join the military later? Okay, what is the statistics? The statistics are, there are currently 1.33 million active duty service military members. That's 1.3 million. And there are approximately 15.8 million veterans currently living in the U.S. So together, that's about you're talking about 17 million Americans had to do with the military. Okay, let's see here. The population of the United States of America is 345 million Americans, but there are 73 million children, which brings it to the fact of there are 268 million adults 18 or over in the USA. Out of 267 million adults, there were 17 million who joined the military. Okay, so that is 250 million Americans who chose not to join the military. Like, are you attacking 250 million Americans? So I looked up the stats and I posed a question. For the 9/11 war, how many eligible people were there to join the 9/11 war? It says here, an estimated 30 million Americans met the basic age requirement, but only 23 to 29% actually met the strict health, education, and legal eligibility. Okay. Around 250,000 people joined the 9/11 war. There's 250,000 people. Let's see here. So 23%, so only 23 to 30% could have. So that would be 23% is 6,900,000, and then what was the other one? Okay, what is 30%? 30% is 9 million. So between about 7 million and 9 million Americans who were eligible for the 9/11 war, 250,000 joined the 9/11 war.